we have is Jaden Rashada. So I wanted to go over this a little bit. We've kind of talked about him, but he's visiting again today. This is his official visit. I popped a little video out when he decided to do his official visit. For anyone who doesn't know, the kind of the difference between official and non-official. So non-official is covered by the player. See what I did there, Steve? You see?
Good job.
Yeah.
Well
so
done.
the school really can't do their wine and dine. They can't take care of everything and basically pay them to do whatever. But for him to come on his own dime is huge, right? To show I really want to come see what's happening here. So he visited us, and then obviously he signed up for an official visit, which is happening today and I think over the next few days, which is going to be his last visit before he makes his final decision on June 18th. Again, a couple things. His star went from 5 to 4, which in the past, that kind of shows maybe Florida seems to be a heavy favorite right now. We're still going up against the Ole Miss of the world, the LSUs, the Oregons, the Cals. But this is huge for the program, is what I wanted to get into. This will be, I feel like we've talked about it, but it feels like it's getting closer and closer. For Billy to get this in his first year in such a short amount of time will really put into, which he mentioned earlier on January, we talked about it. He goes, basically, a plan without any action is just a dream, right? And that was what we kept talking about. Look, he's got this plan. Everything sounds good. Everything looks good. But if you don't execute, it's just a dream. Well, we've done a lot thus far, and it almost feels like, look, if we pull this off, the ball is going to start rolling. It's already rolling, right? We broke the IMG curse. We've got a bunch of guys coming in that haven't. We're in the Arch Manning conversation, which that was kind of laughed at first, but now it's, at least we're in the conversation, right? Everything's trending in the right direction. So getting Jaden will be huge for just the program in general. Couple things. AR, we've talked about multiple times, more than likely will be gone next year. The draft this past year was weak of quarterbacks, and we've seen in the past that typically when we have a weak one, the next one's usually pretty solid, right? Of where, teams are going to be needing quarterbacks. So AR, it's been projected for him to be a top 5 quarterback. Again, injuries obviously have a factor in that. With the NIL and how much money that can be made by staying, that's going to play a factor, which we're going to get into a little bit later on. But let's say he leaves. That's kind of the idea here, right? And we've talked about this too, why Arch would be a good landing spot. Kitna and Brown, they're both really young. So that spot isn't really a shoo-in for them. Miller, I like Miller. No problems with Miller. But I don't think he's the guy either. I think he could lose that job pretty easily. So with that in mind, Jaden has a really good opportunity to kind of come in and be the guy off the rip. That's another big selling point for him.
Sure. Look, when it comes to this kid, with the way your quarterback room is set up right now, right? You've got some talent. Nobody, even from the videos that we saw, nobody is really blowing you away on how strong. There's no real push for the number 1 position. It is clearly Richardson and Richardson only, right?
Yep.
Even with Jack Miller being there. To your point, I don't think that Jack Miller, if he was handed the keys to the car, you really think that he's not going to wrap it, around a tree, right? It just doesn't feel like he's that guy. So Rashada right now, with the uncertainty that comes with Richardson and where he's going to be next year, and if he's going to be on the roster at all next year, this feels like it's a big get. It feels like it's a big get for Billy. It feels like it's a big snag for just the roster as a whole, because, again, you're starting to, you need to build depth. You need to get some people there who you feel like are able to run the offense and understand the offense. He's an athletic kid. He feels like, it looks like he's the guy that can run an offense that Billy, from what I have seen so far, likes to run. So
that's what they talk about too. He fits the scheme
the mold.
Billy scheme. Yeah. Again, he's young. There's a few people that aren't a huge fan. If they watch the tape. Now I'm waiting to see if he signs with us to kind of do a review. We'll pull up his tape and we'll go over it a little bit more. To invest in it right now seems kind of pointless to me. But again, the tape, it's just, you can kind of eat it up and beat it up. But they're saying he's got a few weak areas, which I'm sure, but there's a lot of hype there, and I think the hype alone is going to be good just for overall recruiting. That's what people don't keep in mind. Again, we talked about this. 4 stars flop, 5 stars flop. We know, we get it. But it's just the idea. It's having your hat. We've always talked about having your hat on the table, and then when you get the hat put on top of the head, that's even bigger, right? So It's
The one thing I would say is like just looking at his stats. Like, I mean, he looks great on paper. Statistically, he looks good. 6'4", 185. That's a little scary for the physicality of some of the SEC defenses and how fast they can blitz. 6'4", 185 is thin. Now look,
you think about it, he's young.
He's young, so he can build up. But
he bulks up over the summer. I mean, that guy's gonna be a freak. So I'm excited. We'll see how his visit goes. Being the last visit is huge. Having the last say and having that last feel, and for him to place us there right after LSU is big as well too. So he's already went to the Aggies, took his photos there. I've been following on Instagram, so I saw his stuff there. Again, he's not showing too much emotions in the photos. I mean, these guys are kind of just, it feels like they're just going through the motions at this point. But we'll see.
I like it.
Oh, before you go, make sure you guys check out this video right here. It's brand spanking new. It's shiny. It's beautiful. It's gonna be a great one. I promise you. Make sure you like that video too, and also too, don't forget to subscribe somewhere in this vicinity right here.